your little social credit score will pop up and it'll be like, okay, peasant, you're allowed to buy 1 apple today or whatever. Or, uh-oh, you said something hateful on the internet. You're not allowed to come in. Brr. How y'all doing? So in today's video, I'm going to be covering the 10 biggest threats to our food security in 2023. Let's get into it. So as you know, it's 2023, 4 days into it. As you know, 2022 felt like 4 months long, and that is very true. All right, y'all, so I'm going to be covering an article from Natural News. Today's analyst covers threats to food security in 2023 and beyond, beginning with the non-obvious fact that food inflation continues to worsen almost everywhere. And that is true. Prices are going up. Fuel kind of went like this, and then it's been slowly going up, while crude's been staying like this. Perfectly flat, but for some weird reason, gas is going back up. I have no idea, y'all. But normal basic things a year or two ago are costing over double or triple the amount for like little bags of salad and things like that. Everything is, instead of like $3.99 or $2.99, it's now like $5.99 and above for little things like that. It's crazy. You can't, like, if you go to the grocery store, you pretty much have to mentally prepare yourself now. The new normal is that you spend at least $100. I mean, for something little, like nothing that could even really feed you for that much time. It's just insanity. This readily observable fact is now so self-evident that no one needs to be convinced of the reality of rising food prices. Yet few people have honestly considered where it leads in terms of global famine, civil unrest, and more. In 2023 and for years to come, we are about to see some of the disturbing signs of food scarcity and panic among populations as well as food retailers. So here we go. Number 1, armed guards at food retailers defending against sharp increases in organized retail theft of meat products. And that is really true. That is true, y'all. I think we're gonna see some crazy stuff. The higher these prices go, the more thefts are gonna be, especially with all these new weird laws where you can't like stop thieves and stuff like that. At least in certain states, not in Texas. We just, you stop right there. So anyway, we don't have those problems yet as much. Anyway, they still happen from time to time. But as we saw with the rise of everything, thefts went up, especially on power tools and different things like that. But as these meats on the shelf start to really go up in price, which they already have, once you have like a couple $100 pieces of meat, you're gonna need to kind of protect them because thieves are of course gonna try to come in and make money on that, sadly. Access restriction and biometric ID requirement, which would absolutely be terrible, on who is allowed to enter grocery stores and purchase food items, AKA this is moving towards, and this is what they want, of course, they all want us to have our own little social credit score on our phone, on our app, and then they'll implant it in our head or whatever. Finally, that's next month anyway. And then you're gonna have to go up to the grocery store and it'll either like scan your head, scan your arm, scan your phone or whatever, and then it'll show up your little social security card will your little social credit score will pop up and it'll be like, okay, peasant, you're allowed to buy 1 apple today or whatever. Or, uh-oh, you said something hateful on the internet. You're not allowed to come in. Brr. So then it won't let you in or whatever. Or you didn't take the newest cocktail that just came out. Brr. You're not allowed in the store. We're not sorry at all. So anyway, food rationing limits enforced by digital currency controls that closely monitor your food purchases and cut you off when you've reached your government enforced limit. Shocker. Carbon credits, y'all. So once you buy too many things that have too high of a carbon credit, you get cut off. And especially when everything goes digital, it's very easy for them. They just go, boop, he's off today. Yeah, let him starve a little bit. He'll maybe if he starves, maybe if we cut him off from the food supply, maybe he'll reconsider the thought process of brainwashing propaganda that's out there. Maybe he'll consent if he gets a little hungry enough. So that's why y'all, as homesteaders, or if you're thinking about homesteading, or fill in the blank, just getting out into the country and growing something. You don't have to necessarily be homesteading. I mean, however you want to define homesteading, several different ways. We're trying our hardest at homesteading slash hillbilly redneck country life, just normal life. Got some chickens, got some ducks, got a couple cows, some longhorns, got some horses. Can't really eat them, but I mean, you could. But anyway, they're for transportation. And then we got a couple food forests. Also, go check out the food forest in the box on TheTexasBoys.com. Go ahead and secure your food security, okay? When you have a food forest, it's amazing, okay? First of all, you kind of print your own money because repropagate the trees, okay? You can barter with them, you can sell them to your community, make money that way, which is amazing. Also, you get the fruits of your labor. That's the pro to having fruit trees. You get fruit, and you could make a little stand on the side of the road or something, sell some fresh fruit, things like that. It's amazing. Go check it out. The food forest in the box comes with 5 or 6 different varieties of fruit, and they're pretty stinking cold hardy, so pretty much almost anybody in the United States can try them out. So I would love for y'all to go try them out. I'll leave a link down in the description down below, and just for this video, I'm gonna do it just for y'all. 10% off. Use the code down below. The code will be Food Crisis. There you go. Food riots across many cities and countries as fear and famine take hold. Y'all, people, once they start rationing food, y'all, people do scary, stupid stuff. It's amazing what people will go, what they will do when they've been starved long enough or deprived from food. It's quite incredible. And there's been several examples in history of that happening. More food destruction due to sabotage of food facilities and transportation infrastructure. Does anybody, I think that's smoke I smell from hundreds and hundreds of fires of 2022. It's weird. Just like, I don't know what the count is now, but it has to be a lot of food factories and things like that magically catching on fire. No way. They just like, I don't know, they're just so weird. Like all of a sudden, like they build them so strong and then whoops, they caught on fire, and we don't know why it happened. I don't know. And it keeps on happening, and then the food supply and everything just gets weaker and weaker and weaker because we keep burning up all this food because in these factories and stuff. Ramped up geoengineering efforts to destroy crops through man-made droughts, floods, and storms. Really? No way. We've seen that, y'all. We've seen that big time. Man-made droughts and things like that. That's a thing. That is a big thing. My theory, this is just my opinion on it. The drought that we had in 2022, that summer, when we had that real bad drought, there was a lot of chicanery going on over in the Netherlands with the cattle and everything. And then, shocker, we get this really bad drought. No, don't criticize me. Maybe it was just supernatural. But I think it was man-made because it forced a lot of people, a lot of ranchers and a lot of farmers to sell off thousands of cattle. And then they took all that meat and shipped it overseas, okay? Drives the price up here through the moon because all of that beef that we just slaughtered off for pennies, then we ship it overseas and we sell it over there for a premium. Beautiful, so great. But this year, y'all, what happened last summer is going to be affecting us now. Mr. Larry, if you haven't watched that video, Mr. Larry was talking about we're not gonna feel it we weren't gonna feel it in 2022, we're gonna feel it in the years to come. That's the downside of the food supply, you know? In America, wow, this is racist, this is terrible. In the United Citizens, food will become more expensive and scarce, but the shelves won't be empty just yet. In 2023, the United States will experience significant food inflation as well as intermediate scarcity, but shelves won't go bare on a large scale. Europe, however, will see food scarcity on a far worse scale, and consumers there should expect to see many bare shelves and reduce inventory depth at retailers, and frequent purchase limits put in place by retailers. So what they're gonna do to compensate for not having enough food is they're gonna limit you on how much food you can buy. So then you'll be like, okay, the shelves aren't that empty. They're just kind of they're a little bit more scarce, but they're still full. So then you don't get too terrified, but mainly they're forcing everybody to buy way less. And it's crazy, y'all. So you might be saying, all right, so what do you got to do? And I've said this, me and my dad said this, our family says this all the time for people that say, okay, so what do you do? How do you fix this situation? You grow your own food. That's the only thing you can do. Will you be 100% self-reliant, self-sufficient? No, you won't. And then you're like, Matt, what do you mean? No. Well, you just won't. You won't be able to have your own salt mine or salt pit or whatever to get your own salt. You won't be able to, not everyone will have a 100-acre field of wheat and then with the combines to harvest it and then grind it into flour, okay? Or sugar cane fields for your sugar and things like that. You're just not gonna have that. But if you have a community, one person in the community or one family in the community could be the cattle rancher guy, or then the next person could be the chicken lady or whatever. So, and then you barter like that, and then a community is self-sufficient. But one family trying to be self-sufficient is very, very, very difficult. We've been trying to be more self-sufficient. I think that's a good goal, to be more self-sufficient. Will you ever be 100% self-sufficient? No. Sadly. For Americans, the grocery shopping experience in 2023 will increasingly resemble a police state with restricted entry, guarded entry, and exit points at some stores, increased surveillance, and special in-store guards near meat sections of many stores. We don't have enough surveillance as it is. We need even more cameras and even more people looking and monitoring us as we live our normal lives. Of course we do, of course. And finally, you will get the brain chip, and then it will know all your thoughts too. So then when you go to even think something bad or hateful or think like a normal person would, your social credit score will drop to the ground. We anticipate increased carjackings of grocery consumers driving home, increased robberies of grocery customers who are walking out of stores. Y'all, I'm just saying, around here, you don't mess with Texans food. If a good old country boy is walking out of the store with his food, y'all, they be packing heat. And these people are gonna learn a lesson. I'm just telling you what, that ain't gonna be happening around here. And increase home robberies targeting food supplies rather than jewelry or other valuables. Well, of course, if everybody's starving, food is like top on the list for the most valuable thing. It's right next to water, okay? It keeps you alive. So of course it's going to be very valuable if they start to limit what you can buy and get and stuff. We also anticipate consumers deliberately shopping in packs, multiple people together, realizing there is safety in numbers. Man, we're getting all primitive again, you know? In many areas across America's cities, grocery shoppers will arm up in advance of shopping trip and carrying concealed water blasters as a means of self-defense. Really, wow. Water blasters are amazing for that. In addition, we anticipate more food thefts at the wholesale level, with organized wholesale theft rings targeting meat, plants, food distributors, and food manufacturers. Think of it as theft by the pallet, involving forklifts and heavy trucks. Isn't it a beautiful time to be alive, y'all? Now, they're not stating this is going on right now, but I mean, if it does move into this direction, which it's kind of acting like it's moving towards very quickly, very quickly. Yeah, I mean, of course, thefts will go up when something becomes very, very valuable to everyone. Of course, the thieves want it desperately. And who's to say that the thieves aren't our own government robbing the stores? Anyway, just a thought they would love to do something like that. Your experience will largely depend on where you live. Of course it will. While the grocery police state scenario will unfold aggressively in blue cities, categorized by widespread theft, violence, and defunding of police, royal grocery chains will likely not see such chaos. The rule of law is stronger in rural counties and states across America. And the rapid expansion of both concealed carry laws and constitutional carry, permitless carry, means grocery thieves will think twice before robbing rural grocery stores that are likely occupied by well-armed customers with water blasters. So there you go, y'all. And these aren't my words, YouTube. These are not my words. This is Natural News's words, so not my words. This is not a news channel. This is a comedy show. More Americans will grow their own food in 2023 and beyond. The silver lining in all this is the fact that more Americans will choose to grow some portion of their own food this year and for many years to come. Home gardening will rapidly transition from a hobby activity to a money-saving necessity when food inflation is bad enough. In other words, growing some food at home becomes profitable in terms of saving money. Easily grown crops such as okra and kale can easily add fresh produce to a household diet without requiring expensive inputs other than time. For this reason, we anticipate the 2023 spring gardening season to see record demand for gardening tools and home garden fertilizers as well as seeds. There you go, y'all. That is some amazing things to be looking forward to in 2023. At least there is a silver lining to all this craziness that's going on. So the moral of the story is get outside, plant something, check out the food forest in the box also to get your food forest on. Don't just grow kale and okra. First of all, I don't like okra. I like kale though, but grow more than just kale. Grow some sweet potatoes, grow some potatoes, grow some corn. What else? Grow some leafy vegetables, grow a tomato plant, do something. The beautiful thing is that we cannot control what the they, them, and those are doing up in their ivory towers, but the only thing that we can control is our own lives for now. And the property that we live on, the land that we live on for now, until they find out that it was once the indigenous people of the, and then they take it away. Okay, anyway, y'all, it's a crazy time to be alive, y'all. So thank y'all so much for watching today's video. This is Reporter Matt signing off. Love y'all so much. Have a blessed day. Bye-bye.